Okay, so man, when you watch something and are completely just blown away, that is such a great feeling. And that just happened with Spaceman, right? That just happened with Spaceman. It is directed by Johan Renck, written by Colby Day. The film is produced by Channing Tatum, Max Silver, Michael Parrots, Peter Kerman, Tim Headington, Reed Carolyn, Leah Bunman. It is executive produced by Ben Ormond, Jaroslav Kalfař, Barry Bernardi, and Johan Renck. It is co-produced by Matthew Stillman, David Minkowski, and Luca Burgess. Max Richter handles the music. Jakub Erie, cinematography. John Axelrad, Scott Cummings, and Simon Smith edit the piece. Nina Gold and Robert Stone were on casting duties. Production design is Jan Hollywood. Art direction, we have Ryan Heck, Nick Ralbowski, and Chris Shiver. Set decoration, Julia Altershall, Carmen Dima, Andrea May Fenton, David Scholzinger, and Lisa Son. Catherine George handles costume design. Hair, makeup, effects, we have Iria Zampoli, Megan Tanner, Teresa Patakova, Anne Palla, Alison Imotosu, Corina C. Doran Rabok, and Mickey Caparoso. Our cast: Jakub Procházka is played by Adam Sandler. His wife Lenka is played by Carey Mulligan. Commissioner Tuma is played by Isabella Rossellini. We got Lenka's mother, I believe that is Zedena, played by Lena Olin. We've got Jakub's father, Ladislav, played by Marion Roden. There is a young Jakub, played by Peter Peppernick. We've got, did I just say this? I'm not even sure. Commissioner Tuma, played by Isabella Rossellini. Peter, kind of mission controller, is played by Kunal Nayar. Hanush, right, is voiced by Paul Dano. Who else do we have? The concierge is played by Zuzana Stivanova. The pregnant woman from the retreat is played by Sinead Phelps. Anna is played by Sunny Sandler. I thought that was her, right? Gregor is played by John Flanders. Aid is played by Bash Doran. Who else do we have? The person who plays Hanush was Elk Loiten. Our Korean astronauts are played by Yong Lee and Kimberly Han. Uh, Bellhop is Jessica Boyanova. The sparse woman is played by Sona Beaumont. Yeah, that's the main thing. Now, the gist of the story is this: an intergalactic odyssey of love, ambition, and self-discovery. Orphaned as a boy, raised in the Czech countryside by his doting grandparents, Jakub Prokaska has risen from small-time scientist to become the country's first astronaut. When a dangerous solo mission to Venus offers him both the chance at hero being a hero he's dreamt of, and a way to atone for his father's sins as a communist informer, he ventures boldly into the vast unknown. But in so doing, he leaves behind his devoted wife, Lenka, whose love he realizes too late he has sacrificed on the altar of his ambitions. Alone in deep space, Jakub discovers a possible imaginary giant alien spider who becomes his unlikely companion. Over philosophical, over philosophical, you know what I mean, people. Conversations about the nature of love, life, and death, and the deliciousness of bacon, the pair form an intense and emotional bond. Will it be enough to see Jakub through a clash with secret Russian rivals and return him safely to Earth for a second chance with Lenka? Okay, so there is something with that synopsis, right? Because this film is an adaptation of Spaceman of Bohemia, right? The 2017 book by Jaroslav Kalfař, right? And I believe that synopsis is from the book, right? Because, yeah, there's no bacon. It was like a hazelnut spread, a Nutella type of thing. Okay, here's a synopsis from Wikipedia, actually. An astronaut sent to the edge of the solar system to collect mysterious ancient dust finds his earthly life falling to pieces. He turns to the only voice who can help him try to put it back together again, which happens to belong to a creature from the beginning of time lurking in the shadows of his ship. That is much better. Now, this film was phenomenal. It was fantastic. I'm telling you, right? Because what we have is, a guy on this mission to space, right? This exploration for the greater good of humanity, as it were. But also intertwined with that, we have got someone both searching and running away, right? His wife is on Earth, pregnant. The nation and the world view him as, them as this devoted couple, right? And space can't hold back their love, but in reality, it's something far different, So we're looking at love, relationships, trauma, loneliness, all of these things. It is fascinating the way they explore it all and craft it within this kind of tale. It's so it's tremendous. Boy, because there is a subtleness to what we are seeing, right? It's very subtle, but very clear. Now, you have this Hanush character, this alien that's kind of spider-like, but not completely. You know what I mean? A bit like Bob from Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, but not quite, right? So we have this creature that, is it there? Is it in his imagination? You know, like we don't really know, but that's not even the point. The point is the conversations, right? And the realizations, the observations that occur, you know, which is fascinating. Just and the performances. I mean, I like Adam Sandler, man. Like those early films, you know what I mean? Big Daddy, right? God damn, my mind has just gone blank. Huh. Happy Gilmore, right? 50 First Dates. You know, love those films. You know what I mean? And recently, because there were some ones where I'm just like, no. I hated Mr. Deeds. I hated Mr. Deeds. But recently, I enjoyed Hoobie Halloween, right? And then you have stuff like, but you know, you are so not invited to my bar mitzvah, which was fantastic, right? But Punch Drunk Love has always been one of my favorite Sandler films, and I feel this is a perfect companion piece. Like you could do a double bill of those two films, like Punch Drunk Love and Spaceman. I think it would work so well together. You know what I mean? And we've seen, I feel, right? And don't forget, that Precious Gems, right? When you look at his performances, Spanglish, right? When you look at his performances in the straight films he's done, god damn, Sandler really can throw down as an actor. And this one is such a great performance. Like him, Carey Mulligan, you know, just everyone involved kill it. But those two especially, because of the emotional toil that they have to burden, right? That they have to relay to the viewer. And the subtleness in the things that they're not saying that you are meant to understand and perceive. I will also say, right, Kanal Nayaya as well, right, and Isabella Rossellini, because what they probably Lena Olin too. I mean, everyone's killing it, but right, what they have to give, you know, the things that they're trying to relay some information, but they're just like, but you know, we can't say this other thing, right? We're trying to help, but without being heavy-handed. It is, man, it's so good. There's a point in it when Lenka's like, the point of something like the point of love is you have to amputate a piece of yourself to make room for some of your partner, right? Which I don't know if I would I perceive it as that. I don't think you have to amputate some of yourself, but I'm saying I believe it's like kind of making room, you know, where you make a drawer for someone or clear out, you know, half of your wardrobe, right? You're making space for the person you care for, right? You're letting them in. And but it's the way she says it. And it's just like, I amputated so much of me. What did you lose? Right? And the ferocity in that. And there's these moments in this film where it's so raw. But what you get is this exploration. Because as we have Jakub, exploring space, he's exploring himself as well. And that's the joy of it, because we get these flashbacks to these moments in the relationship, like where he first met Lenka, their first kiss, right? All of these different, moments around childbirth and all of these other things. Right? And at the beginning, when he's talking to Hanuš, it's looking at them from afar, right? But then we see him really immerse himself and understand, right, what he's seeing, and opening himself up to those emotions, to those feelings, and what they mean to him. As I said, it's a discovery on so many different levels, And when you kind of understand his past, now we don't get all of it, but you can definitely draw conclusions from what we know. And it's just like, oh, you were broken, right? You were broken. So it's just like, where you're chasing something, you're chasing this understanding, this emotion, this feeling, this need to repent, right? Which means you close yourself off to other things. And all of that is so obvious, right? The film really gives you these things in such a powerful way. Right? So it's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful film in that respect, that we get to see this, which is human. Like, how many people do you know who be like, I really want to be in a relationship, I really want a kid, I really want, these certain things, but you can see they're not actually open to those things, right? They want the superficial like essence of them, but they don't really understand what those things actually mean, what they bring, what you have to open yourself to for those things to thrive, right? Which is why you see relationships and things crumble, fall apart, because people aren't actually ready, right? And so we get to see the manifestation of that in this film, and it's so good. I love the fact, the visual representation of this spaceship is usually, when we see these things, it's shiny, but this, it's not, right? It looks like it was built in a Blue Peter episode. Yo, if you know, you get what that is, right? Oh man. That's what it is, right? It's not shiny. It's great, and I the fact that it's not based in America, that you've got this shit from the Czech Republic. You know what I mean? Because everything is always, aliens arrive in America, this one, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, come on now. Not everything revolves around the States. So seeing a story from somewhere else, based somewhere else, right? Seeing a story where things look a little more realistic, right? And then couple the emotional tapestry on top of that. Spaceman is goddamn magnificent. And then I discover, right, one of the things that really just blew me away, Johan Renck, only second film, right? Only his second film. The first was in, I think, 2008, maybe 2006. Done a lot of TV though. Chernobyl being his last big limited series that he directed. But the thing that I discovered, Renck, aka Shaka Bo. God, that I remember his big song, Here We Go Again, right? Oh my God. I remember that motherfucking song, man. That was huge over here, right? So knowing that my man went from Here We Go Again, Here We Go, go, go. He went from that to this. Yo, that's insane. That's insane. But people, what isn't insane is Spaceman. It is fucking outstanding, right? I will say, if you liked Moon, Duncan Jones's Moon, you will definitely like Spaceman. I'd put, that's another double bill you could do, Moon and Spaceman, right? Because they both have that kind of themic, feel to them, right? They're dealing with mental health and emotions and all of that kind of jam. So, yeah, people, this is definitely worth watching. It's on Netflix. One of Adam Sandler's best performances. Like, everyone involved kills it. The cinematography, the set decorations, the unit, like everything is tremendous. So embrace it in your lives, people, because I think it will just speak to so many. And you might take a little something about relationships, openness, forgiveness, understanding, enlightenment, all of those things as well. So, Spaceman.